Tonight, public notice for a cyber incident. What's at stake when a local municipality faces a security breach?
That information is supposed to be secured, but it isn't.
Plus, healthcare partnership.
Our mission is to work alongside our London Police Service partners and to go out in the community and help our clients in their natural environment.
The new police unit bringing nurses along for the ride. And the City Hall dilemma. With little interest in building a new facility, council faces more delays in replacing their aging headquarters.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a major shakeup in Ottawa. Former Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland is resigning her cabinet position and won't run in the next federal election. She's leaving Mark Carney's inner circle, taking on a special appointment to Ukraine. With more on her new role, here's Mike Couture.
Chrystia Freeland isn't stepping down as an MP yet, saying in a statement she won't run in the next election. A source familiar with the appointment says Freeland will work directly with the Prime Minister on the rebuilding of Ukraine. Chrystia Freeland left her final cabinet meeting accompanied by Prime Minister Mark Carney, signaling an amicable departure. Details of her new job only came in a statement from Carney saying, "I have asked Chrystia to serve as Canada's new special representative for the reconstruction of Ukraine." A source speaking on background says Freeland will work with Ukrainian leaders to rebuild its economy, an effort she championed under the Trudeau government as well.
The work that Chrystia will lead on Ukraine will be deeply impactful, not just for the war, but for Canada's national security.
Freeland has been a member of Parliament for 12 years, serving under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, handling key portfolios like international trade and foreign affairs. She also led the negotiation for the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement.
She's had literally every tough assignment there is in government, and she's done it, with extraordinary flair, and she's done a great job.
In 2020, Freeland became Canada's first ever female finance minister. 4 years later, she resigned from Trudeau's cabinet with a blistering letter criticizing the Prime Minister and costly political gimmicks, a move that led to Trudeau's own resignation less than a month later. Freeland ran for the Liberal leadership but came in a distant second to Mark Carney. In a statement, she thanked her constituents and praised the current Prime Minister, saying Mark Carney is a unifier in a time of crisis, and I have absolute confidence in his ability to lead us through it. Ontario's Premier also praised her time in politics.
She's always a friend. I talk to her almost daily, bi-daily, and she's a good person, and she'll do a great job over in Ukraine, and I support her all the way.
Late this afternoon, we learned who will fill the void in Cabinet. The minister in charge of Canada-US trade, Dominic LeBlanc, will now take over on internal trade. And the transport file will be handled by Government House Leader Steve McKinnon. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
An investigation is underway in Oxford County after an apparent incident involving the municipality's information systems. Bryan Bicknell has more on the latest potential cybersecurity breach for a local public institution.
It is just the latest public body that may be under some kind of cyber threat. Oxford County has put the public on notice. It has discovered and is responding to an incident relating to its information systems. IT expert Carmi Levy says he's seen this movie before.
Woodstock, Stratford, Blue Water Health, all cybersecurity incidents where somebody, usually an employee, received a message from a cyber attacker, clicked on a link that they probably should not have, and thus precipitated the attack, usually involving some sort of ransomware.
At this point, Oxford County is being very careful with its messaging here, referring to this as a technical incident and avoiding the term cyber attack. It has also chosen not to accommodate interview requests. In a statement, Warden Marcus Ryan said all systems are operating normally and there are no changes to the services we provide to the public. Please know this is a quickly evolving situation with many unknowns. While we do not have more details to share, I want to assure the public a coordinated response is underway. Levy says the risk to Oxford ratepayers is real.
That information is supposed to be secured, but it isn't. It's highly personal, often contains financial details, health details, property details, you name it. And in the hands of a malevolent actor, a cyber criminal, a hacker, that information can be used in all sorts of ways. It can be used to launch customized identity theft attacks against ratepayers in future. It can be sold to other criminal groups as well.
The county says its response, including its investigation, is priority for the moment. It will provide updates on any new developments. Bryan, Bicknell, CTV News.
London police have launched a new partnership with local healthcare workers focusing on mental health and medical care. With more on the nurse police response team and its potential impact in the community, here's Reta Ismail.
It's a new kind of patrol on the streets of London, pairing police officers with registered nurses in real time. The Nurse Police Response Team, launched this past June, is a joint effort between the London Police Service and London Health Sciences Centre.
There's a team of 10 of us registered nurses from Victoria Hospital, specifically in the emergency department. And our mission is to work alongside our London Police Service partners and to go out in the community and help our clients in their natural environment.
The team focuses on responding to mental health and substance-related calls, bringing medical care directly to people in need outside of hospitals and courtrooms.
The project has obviously been a whole nother definition of what it's like to be in the front line, being on the streets, like I said, with our clients in their environment, rather than being in the emergency department where we're most comfortable, then acknowledging what their struggles are in the community. So unfortunately, London does struggle with a huge homeless population, so that has been the majority of our clients.
The program has already seen impact, responding to 148 calls, providing wound care to more than 80 people, and administering Narcan in overdose situations.
We expect this program to really support avoidable admissions and transfers to our emergency department. Many of these particular populations struggle to want to come to our emergency department, and so this offers an opportunity for them to be cared for where they are.
London police say the program not only lightens the load on hospitals, but also offers vital support to officers on the front lines.
The feedback that we've received from both the police and the registered nurses, as well as those that have actually benefited from the resource, have been very positive about it.
The pilot has already expanded from 2 days a week to a full 7-day schedule and will run until March of 2026. Reta Ismail, CTV News.
Good evening. The blocking pattern holds and sunshine continues across the area. Absolutely gorgeous out there. Temperatures this afternoon in the mid to upper 20s, and we're holding on to the warmth on the hour. Satellite radar showing not a whole lot in the way of clouds. We do have a little light cloud showing up on the satellite radar in through northern Huron and Perth County. Other than that, we are in the clear. Beautiful conditions. This blocking pattern holds as we head into tomorrow, basically a repeat of what we saw out there today. Watch for a bit of shallow fog overnight in outlying rural areas. Temperature-wise, we'll be at about 16 degrees at midnight with light and variable winds. Coming up, I'll take you through the forecast tracking that same cold front on Friday. Probabilities remain low with the frontal passage, and we'll look ahead to the weekend. I'll have your local weather details coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Julie. Provincial police say they've laid an attempted murder charge after a shooting on Oneida Nation of the Thames last weekend. Officers were called to Oneida Road early Sunday morning for a reported break and enter. Police say they found one person who had been shot, who was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. According to police, a 26-year-old suspect was in custody pending a bail hearing. London police say they're looking for a suspect accused of making inappropriate comments to 3 girls. According to police, the girls were near a park in northwest London Sunday afternoon when they encountered a man walking a dog. Police say the suspect made remarks about his genitals. The girls left and told their parents. The suspect is described as a white man between 30 and 40 years old with a medium build and brown hair. London police say a motorcycle rider involved in a crash last month in London has died. It happened on Bridges Street near Egerton on August 15th. According to police, 49-year-old Stephen Smith was rushed to hospital but has not survived. They're also asking anyone who may have seen the crash to contact them. Lambton OPP say a pedestrian has died after an impaired driver hit them on Walpole Island last weekend. According to police, it happened early Saturday morning. They say a 22-year-old from Wallaceburg was rushed to hospital but did not survive. Police say they've charged a 25-year-old with multiple offenses, including impaired driving causing death. London City councillors now expect a lengthy delay in their decade-long efforts to replace the current City Hall building. As Daryl Newcombe reports, private sector interest failed to materialize, leaving council little in the way of viable options.
Council's plan to build a new City Hall campus on the current site at Wellington and Dufferin got the cold shoulder from most private developers during a recent request for pre-qualifications process.
Quite frankly, this is it. We have to get the next one right, or else we'll be talking about this in 10 years from now. And we don't have that luxury.
Completed in 1971, the current building is too small for the city's workforce and experiencing rising maintenance costs. The search for a private partner to design and build a new City Hall campus, including residential units and a parking structure, began with 35 companies requesting copies of the documents, but ended with just a single submission. So left without a competitive tendering process, councillors are unwilling to move forward.
We've been at this now for over 10 years before my last term of council.
Councillor Lehman's motion would direct city staff to ask the companies why they dropped out of the process, review the future office space needs of the city, and prepare a list of maintenance needed to extend the lifespan of the current building. Upon completion of the downtown master plan, staff will also analyze the role City Hall plays in downtown vitality, as well as the potential impact of U.S. tariffs on construction costs. Even with work being expedited on the downtown master plan, it won't be finished until sometime next spring. And with a fall 2026 election on the horizon, it means what to do about a new City Hall building will be a question answered by the next term of council. The committee unanimously supported the two-stage report, as well as the project's extended timeline.
I don't think we're back to the drawing board at all. Anytime you go out and do an RFPQ process, you learn a lot from the applicants in that process, and that's actually what the motion was today, is to gather that information back, get it to council so that we can use that in future decision making.
The mayor believes it's too early to say if the future plan will be a redevelopment at 300 Dufferin or if other concepts and locations will be reconsidered.
What we've done is referred the process forward to get a little bit more information. I think that's a good question that can be answered once we get that more information about what the restrictions were on the public-private partnerships for this site.
Daryl Newcombe, CTV News.
Here on Perth, public health officials are reporting the first local human case of West Nile virus in 2025. They say across Ontario there have been 61 human cases this year. People infected with West Nile virus typically experience mild flu-like symptoms. Health unit officials recommend using DEET-based bug spray, removing standing water, and wearing long sleeves and pants to avoid exposure. Local housing advocates joined a province-wide protest today, calling on the Ontario government to increase social assistance. As Lauren Stallone reports, they believe the current supports are not enough for people to live on.
The display behind me might look like a picnic, but the message is far from casual. ACORN members are setting up empty plates, representing how social assistance rates leave families with next to nothing.
The poverty picnic is essentially a picnic with no food at it, because the reality is the vast majority of us are skipping meals.
ACORN, what do we want? Double the raise.
The demonstration is taking place across Ontario, demanding the provincial government double social assistance rates.
The disabled in Ontario really are right now struggling at 60% below the poverty line.
ACORN representatives say a single person on the Ontario Disability Support Program receives a maximum of roughly $1,400 a month.
The rates have been frozen since 2018. So there's been no increases. Meanwhile, the cost of essential goods has increased by 20%.
Organizers say the rally is about making sure people with disabilities have a stable income they can live on.
There's no way anybody should be living under these conditions, and they should at least bring us up to the poverty line.
They say it is important the public stays informed on the challenges many people face here in London daily.
We're really calling on the Ontario government, but also trying to draw public awareness to just how bad and how critical this situation has become.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
The United Way in Perth, Huron has set a multi-million-dollar fundraising goal for the coming year. As Scott Miller reports, dozens of programs rely on that support, especially when it comes to housing and homelessness initiatives.
The United Way of Perth Huron is hoping to raise nearly $2.6 million over the next year to fund more than 40 social programs in the 2 counties.
Yeah, it's a big goal, but we're really excited about it. There's the services that are provided out of this goal are much needed in the region, and it's lofty, but it's attainable and it's important.
Launch events like the one held in Listowel on Friday will be happening over the next 2 weeks to kickstart the charity's annual fundraiser, which will be focused on 2 issues facing almost every community in Canada: housing shortages causing homelessness.
What we know is that if we can put somebody into housing, we can fix a lot of problems, right? Similarly, on the income side, if we can help people with money, then they don't need a food bank, right? And so what we need to do is really work at those core issues. Yep, we got to be there for people in their emergency, but if we don't work at finding ways to help people with their income and with their housing, we're in for a long, difficult journey for all Canadians.
And the United Way of Perth Huron is doing much more than just talking about affordable housing. They're actually going to be building it. They actually have a totally separate capital campaign underway right now to build affordable housing units right here in Listowel.
Our first project is well underway. We're in the midst of a capital campaign over and above our regular annual campaign, trying to raise $705,000 so that money can be used to renovate a vacant space, a second-story space in downtown Listowel that wasn't being used, and now we're turning it into housing.
It's really where we need to start, and we're really proud to be able to start there and make a difference, not just in the larger centers, but here in Listowel will be the first project, and we're excited about that.
The combined $3 million United Way goal makes it the largest fundraiser for the charity yet. Last year, the United Way of Perth Huron raised nearly $2.9 million.
We're always shocked by how many $50 donations we get from people, and people that recognize the need, and sometimes it's some people that actually could probably use the money are donating the money. So yeah, it's all for the collective good.
Every year that I've been in this job, more than 15 years now, we have made our campaign goal. It's incredible, right? And so we're so excited. Last year we exceeded it again, and I think we'll do it this year, even though it's a bit of a challenge to get there.
In Listowel, Scott Miller, CTV News.
A large downtown mural advertising a local cannabis shop was painted over today. It was a directive from a city councillor using bylaw officers to get it covered up. With more on that operation and what the councillor hopes will go up in its place, here's Sean Irvin.
A painter sprays black paint over a billboard promoting a nearby cannabis shop on Tuesday afternoon. It is the next step in a back-and-forth battle between the business owner and the city. Councillor Peter Cuddy began the push to get the sign covered up while on a drive with fellow councillor David Ferreira.
And we drove right by the sign, and I said, David, that sign's got to go. And he said, I agree, Peter, let's do it.
Initially, Cuddy approached the owner of the cannabis shop with a proposal to create a mural. It would have contained a message welcoming people to London along with the store's logo.
We didn't get that cooperation, so we moved ahead with bylaw, and now we're able to go ahead and paint over the signage.
But before the paint was applied, CTV News reached out to owner Ali Khan. He told us the city was applying the hammer to him because he wouldn't allow his logo to be painted over. He intends to speak with a lawyer. But Cuddy insists the city went through the proper channels and pointed out that bylaw officials were on site. Many of those passing by told us they support the action, but others say the city has overreached.
That's a little ridiculous. They need a sense of humor.
But Cuddy counters the message is all wrong.
And we want a welcoming sign to visitors, to students, and to the residents. And quite frankly, Your Highness just isn't it.
But again, not everyone agrees.
This is cool. This is fun. This is whimsical. This is lighthearted, and we need that in London.
Those comments were moot by early afternoon as the message was painted over. Cuddy says a contest to create a new mural will begin in the spring. In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
The Surrey Therapeutic Riding Centre north of London has expanded.
Hello.
That's one of 4 new stalls at the centre. Surrey offers various equine experiences for people with disabilities. Staff say they currently support 300 participants a year with the help of 250 volunteers a week. They say more horses have been added as the program has grown, but those horses need accommodations. The owners of Wastel Homes agreed to build the structure using a side exit off the main building, but Surrey officials say that wasn't the only good news.
The following day, I received a call, and it was one of those did that just happen moments. Marianne Donaldson offered 4 interior stalls to Surrey after we just committed to building 4 stalls. So we were very fortunate. We said, yes, we'll take them.
Coming up, high security and political protests. Donald Trump heads to Britain for a state visit. Plus, Hollywood in mourning. The legendary Robert Redford dead. We take a look back at his career and contributions.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's latest.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvlondon.ca, your home for news.
Welcome back. President Donald Trump is making an unprecedented second state visit to the UK. It's a 2-day trip which will mix trade discussions with royal pageantry. However, as Joy Malbon reports, it will also include a massive security operation with large protests expected.
It's a striking show of force. In Windsor, police on the streets on horseback patrolling the River Thames. And there will be a no-fly zone. Police are concerned someone might try to fly a drone over the castle walls. After the targeted assassination of Conservative activist Charlie Kirk, as well as the attempts on Trump's life, no one is taking any chances. All of the events will be kept inside for security reasons and hidden from the public. Those hoping for a glimpse of the U.S. president in Windsor will be disappointed. Donald Trump and the First Lady arriving here by helicopter. That's how tight security is.
This is the second state visit. You know, it's spectacular. It's a shame, really, they're not having a carriage ride through Windsor.
The Stars and Stripes along with the Union Jack may be on display, but not everyone is rolling out the welcome mat.
Oh, this man is endangering human life on this planet. He's got to be told that, and I can't go to America, so he's kindly come here.
Trump will avoid the demonstrations and protests against his visit from the Stop Trump coalition and others, angry over what they call the president's divisive politics. Trump and the First Lady will be treated to a grand display of royal pageantry, hoping this so-called soft power of the royals will appeal to the unpredictable president. In the face of Trump's annexation threats, it was King Charles who went to Canada to show solidarity.
As the anthem reminds us, the true north is indeed strong and free.
That intervention by the king seems to have worked, though Canadians aren't over it yet.
I'm from Canada, so at the moment we feel a little bit misunderstood by him, so I'm not sure that we're excited about Donald Trump.
This visit will be a royal charm offensive with all the pomp and ceremony, from a military fly past, a gun salute, and a lavish state banquet, all designed to dazzle the U.S. president in hopes of signing some crucial business deals. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Windsor.
Hollywood legend Robert Redford has died. He was a generational talent both in front of the camera and behind. With more on his career and his lasting impact on the film industry, here's Andrea Case.
There are movie stars, and then there was Charles Robert Redford Jr. Born in Santa Monica, California in 1936, his acting career began on television in 1959. He moved on to Broadway, and then came the movies. His good looks cemented his leading man status. But Redford was more than just a pretty face and turned down acting roles which he thought would stereotype him.
Well, that ought to do it. Use enough dynamite there, Butch?
Robert Redford was someone who I think wasn't always given credit for his enormous talent as an actor simply because he was too good looking. He had the Brad Pitt syndrome. The people, I think, for a while just refused to take him as seriously as he deserved to be taken as an actor. But then you look at those films and you place them back to back to back. You see how different they all are, and you see that the common link is Robert Redford.
Marvin, what do we do now?
He made his directorial debut with the family drama Ordinary People in 1980. It garnered him his first Academy Award. Redford stood for many issues, his star power attracting attention to causes which included political activism, the environment, Native American and Indigenous peoples' rights, and LGBTQ rights. In 1981, he created the Sundance Institute, named after his Sundance character, and in 1985, the Sundance Film Festival was born, taking place where he lived in Utah in the middle of winter.
Our job and our role is to create a space and a platform to bring new voices and new ways of seeing the world using independent film.
Redford was married twice and had 4 children and 7 grandchildren. He died in his sleep this morning at home in Utah, surrounded by those he loved. Robert Redford was 89.
Canadian children's author Robert Munsch has been approved for medical assistance in dying. That was revealed in a New York Times profile, revealing he had applied for MAID not long after a dementia diagnosis, which was made public in 2021. Munsch has written more than 70 popular children's books, including The Paper Bag Princess and Love You Forever. On the desk now with Julie Atchison. On another day, another story of sunshine. Warmth, nice temperatures. It's been pretty consistent for us, and I don't think many people are complaining about it.
I was just thinking back to our conversation last week when I was like, I'm just in chill mode. I'm just wondering how long that's going to last.
You were tempting fate, but so far, it's holding true.
So far, so good. Sunshine in the forecast heading into tomorrow again. Today, look at that, 27 degrees. It really was beautiful this afternoon. Once again, we have low humidity, wall-to-wall sunshine, hard-pressed to find any cloud cover out there, and temperatures averaging well above. That's where we'll stay. Tomorrow, basically a repeat of what we saw out there today. Winds are light and have been out of the east-northeast. High pressure is holding strong over the Great Lakes. We do have a cold front off to the northwest, and that's been playing some havoc across the prairies over the past couple of days with scattered showers and some thunderstorms. Air quality is still a big issue in Western Canada, and there is an air quality advisory in effect. In terms of the air quality, you can see how dense this is on the forest fire smoke map tonight. Back here at home, across the Great Lakes, temperatures are averaging well above normal right through Thunder Bay to the GTA, 25 to 27 degrees. Highs across the region again in the mid to upper 20s. Forecast over the next 24 hours, mainly clear. We'll have some fog overnight and first thing in the morning, but another beauty day setting up right across the region. Temperatures expected to hit about 27 degrees once again. Overnight, 11 in London, 7 in Mount Forest and KW, 13 degrees if you're near Lake Huron and 14 degrees near Lake Erie. Wednesday afternoon, the sun holds, the light winds, and once again variable conditions. We do have a blocking pattern that's holding across the Great Lakes, and that's keeping us on the sunny side of things. Tomorrow afternoon, 27 degrees. As we head out to the weekend, Thursday into Friday, we are expecting that cold front to come in. Temperatures will drop off a bit. Still 23 degrees, so that's a bit above normal for this time of year. Probability of showers with the front, just a 30% chance. So as the cooler air arrives, temperatures dip just a bit, but still feeling nice and warm in the afternoon. Saturday, a mix of southern cloud and 20 degrees. Our Metal Roof Outlet forecast for Sunday, overcast. And then a warm front comes in on Monday, and we're back up to 24 degrees. Now, looking out at the forecast models, it looks like this warmth will hold straight through until September 29th. It'll be drier than normal as well, so warm conditions expected. And then past that, we are seeing a little bit of model fluctuation, so I'll keep you posted as I do look at those models day to day. We are entering fall with the equinox coming our way on Monday and the warm front coming back in, and temperatures are set to climb. So Wednesday, beautiful sunshine and 26 degrees, 25 heading into Thursday under a mix of sun and cloud. 30% chance of showers Thursday into Friday in Midwestern Ontario, and then back into a mix of sun and clouds Saturday, and a bit cooler at 19 degrees. 22 to 24 heading into early next week, and fall will arrive in style with some nice mild air and a slight chance for showers as we head into Monday night. Carlyle, back to you.
Thanks very much, Julie. Still ahead, Canada's canola industry at a crossroads. Industry leaders meeting on the prairies in the face of steep Chinese tariffs. Canada's inflation rate rose slightly last month, with a smaller than expected drop in gas prices fueling the increase. According to Stats Canada, the Consumer Price Index increased 1.9% in August, up slightly from 1.7% in July. Tomorrow, Bank of Canada officials are expected to release their latest interest rate decision. A new report on Canadian small businesses suggests some are starting to struggle as customers spend less. The report is from Equifax Canada, suggesting more than 286,000 businesses missed at least one credit payment in the second quarter. That's up 5.6% from a year ago. The report's authors say sectors under stress are tied to international trade and non-essential spending. Other sectors are either holding steady or improving. Concern on the prairies at the height of harvest season. Farmers say they may be looking at substantial losses on canola exports thanks to steep Chinese tariffs. As Alison Bamford reports, that was top of mind for a recent discussion between Saskatchewan's Premier and the Prime Minister.
His commitment to our country, obviously he's working for the people of Saskatchewan, but commitment to our country and contribution at the tables have been essential to getting us together and moving forward.
A quick welcome before getting down to work. This afternoon's meeting between the Premier and Prime Minister, a chance to debrief after Scott Moe's trade mission to China earlier this month. Moe met with Chinese government agencies responsible for imposing the steep tariffs on Canadian canola products. Talks, he said, were much more positive than expected.
This is another step in finding our way through what is a pretty difficult time for a significant Canadian industry.
The tariffs are driving down canola prices at a time when farmers are at their busiest. Once the crops are harvested, the pressure will shift. Do producers sell or delay as long as possible?
There's just no real answers and again, no real indication from our federal government as to what sort of support as producers we could be expecting in the future.
The duties are widely viewed as retaliation for Canada's 100% tariff imposed on Chinese electric vehicles.
Tariffs on canola came up unexpectedly. If they can come on fast, they can come off fast. And the Chinese are just going to want something in return.
Before flying to Ottawa, Moe told reporters he's hopeful an agreement could be reached by the end of the year. But farmers are still fearful that this could drag on. And with bills to pay, producers may be forced to sell their commodities at a price much lower than the cost of production. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Canada's main stock index finished lower today, weighed down by broad-based losses. The TSX lost 116 points. In New York, the Dow fell 126. The Nasdaq dropped 15. Canadian dollar gained a third of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold added $6 an ounce. Oil is up $1.22 a barrel. Coming up, Canadian cancer patients sent home without treatment. A report on emergency room diagnoses with little follow-up. Welcome back. The general manager of the Philadelphia Flyers says Carter Hart won't return to the team following his sexual assault acquittal this summer.
His representative, Judd Moldaver, has reached out and kind of told us that in light of everything that happened in the last year and a half with Carter, they felt, and Carter felt, that it was better for them to look for a fresh start.
Hart spent 6 seasons with the Flyers after they drafted him in 2018. He left the team in the midst of the sexual assault criminal proceedings and was found not guilty this summer, along with his 4 other co-accused players. League officials have said each of the acquitted players can sign with an NHL team next month, but they can't play any games before December 1st. A new study suggests it's becoming more common in Canadian hospitals for emergency room doctors to make cancer diagnoses. Pauline Chan has more on the factors, including long waits for diagnostics and a lack of family physicians.
Emergency departments are unique. We often provide episodic care, so we only see a patient once and we don't have ways to follow up with patients, make sure that referrals that were sent actually happen.
A recent study by Dr. Kirat Gurwal shows an increasing number of cancer patients are actually being diagnosed during a visit to the emergency room, pointing to the lack of access to family physicians.
We interviewed 20 emergency physicians across Ontario.
The problems range from the environment.
Emergency departments are routinely overcrowded. Patients who have suspected cancer diagnoses are often seen in waiting rooms and hallways, and having these discussions can be difficult for both patients and providers.
To the follow-up, as biopsies are usually required for a cancer confirmation and any referral to an oncologist.
The challenge with the emergency providers is they don't have that continuity with the patient. So they can make the referral, but oftentimes we'll get referral rejections, which is one of the things that came up in the study.
Gurwal is calling for more standardization of access to screening and care. She points to programs that already screen for breast or lung cancer.
And if you have a patient with suspected lung cancer in the emergency department, you can be fairly confident that they will reliably be followed up in a timely fashion.
We know that screening guidelines are the age is getting younger and younger. And in some of the young adult patients that I care for, we're often reminding them that the goal is to get screening when you feel well.
And Dr. Alicia Kazam says some screening can even be done by self-referral. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Police in Oshawa say they've arrested 3 suspects accused in a violent carjacking after a police chase.
There is a black fence here with hay in the middle. Just is you over that fence?
Yeah, sorry, that's subject is being taken into custody here.
Police say they tracked the suspects to a field with help from a police helicopter. According to police, the suspects assaulted someone in a parking lot Saturday night, then took off with their vehicle. They say they tried to stop the car, but it crashed into a field and the suspects fled on foot. Once arrested, police say they found a large knife and an airsoft gun. Alberta government officials say they're adding more information to the province's driver's licenses, noting citizenship. They claim it's about cutting red tape, but as Kevin Green reports, critics are predicting problems.
Monday morning, Premier Danielle Smith said adding Canadian citizenship notation to provincial ID will cut red tape.
Why are we doing this? Because we believe in making things better, faster, and more convenient for everyone.
She even packed along her Minister of Red Tape Reduction to back her up. He admitted it's about a lot more than just cutting red tape.
The feds cannot provide us with one single source of data that tells us who's Canadian, who's not. It's going to be able to tell us, who our citizens are.
Functionally, it means when you head to the registry to renew your license, you'll need to bring proof of your citizenship status.
I think it's going to be more red tape. It's always more red tape.
Alberta New Democrats say it's simply virtue signaling to the UCP base.
My question now to the UCP is, would they be willing to illegally and unconstitutionally restrict programs that are available to legal residents of Canada?
But others worry it could lead to targeting immigrants, making it harder for them to get services.
If the system is changed, that may make some kind of difficulty for the migrants.
So it's for the people that aren't here, that are citizens, I feel that could cause something towards them. They would feel some type of way, knowing they're citizens, knowing that we're also we let in a lot of immigrants in Canada, we're known for that. So I feel like they could take it a different way.
The new driver's license and Alberta ID will also incorporate your Alberta healthcare number. You won't get the new card until you renew it, which means if you just got a new driver's license in the last month or so, you'll wait almost 5 years before you get the new card. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Thank you to Rosemary for sending this photo in. Above normal temperatures continue. High pressure in play. A weak cold front will arrive by the end of the week with a slight risk for showers. Temperatures dip back to normal for the weekend, but above average as we wind down the month of September.
Israeli military officials say they began expanding ground operations last night in Gaza City. They say they launched a large wave of airstrikes, and in the coming days, 2 military divisions are expected to advance into new areas not currently under Israeli control. They claim there are as many as 3,000 Hamas militants still in the city. Palestinian health officials say Israel killed at least 40 people in the early hours of this new assault. Meanwhile, a United Nations inquiry has found Israel has committed genocide, accusing top Israeli leaders, including the Prime Minister, of inciting these acts.
The one is the Prime Minister, the other the President, and the third is the former Minister of Defense. And we said that since they acted as agents of the state, then the state of Israel is responsible.
The report found Israel committed 4 of the 5 actions constituting genocide as laid out in the 1948 UN Genocide Convention. The Israeli ambassador to the UN has rejected the accusations. Police in Halifax say they're investigating recent graffiti at 3 synagogues as hate crimes. Jesse Thomas has more on what was spray painted and the reaction from Halifax's Jewish community.
This was where the swastika was.
Shar Shalom Synagogue President Joanna Mirsky-Wexler points to where anti-Semitic graffiti was scrawled across the front entrance of their place of worship. It was first noticed early Sunday morning as Hebrew school opened.
Parents coming in to drop their kids off first noticed it and brought it to our attention. I would say that the children, younger children, they've not been exposed to those kinds of hateful symbols before.
The Shar Shalom and the Beth Israel Synagogue, both located on Halifax's Oxford Street, were targeted with violent symbols and false claims. A surveillance camera outside a Jewish institute and residence captured this image, which police released, asking for the public to help identify the individual who they allege is responsible for the graffiti. Halifax Mayor Andy Fillmore called it disgraceful and unacceptable to target places of worship.
People need to be able to worship in peace. They need to feel safe going to their places of worship. Those are community gathering places. They're places of spirituality. And this kind of hate and disruption and disrespect is just not who we are here in Halifax.
The Jewish community feel targeted.
Feels like we're not safe in the city anymore.
The former president of the Atlantic Jewish Council says fear is forcing people to hide their faith.
So they hide or won't wear, for example, the Star of David, the Magen David. They won't wear that. They won't wear anything that discloses or shows that they're Jewish, which again, in 2025 Canada, people have to hide that they're Jewish is just a disgrace.
Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Halifax.
An organization in Toronto is trying to bring awareness to the rising cost of a household staple for young families, diapers. With more, here's Pauline Chan.
So we've built this really large physical wall of diapers as a representation of the fact that for many families, diapers are a barrier that's limiting their ability to get to work. So we are literally blocking people as they're trying to get to work.
All this week, volunteers with Baby Love are talking about the need for diapers with people on the path.
1 in 5 families in Toronto are actually experiencing diaper need. And what inspired our diaper barrier here today is a staggering complementary statistic, which is that for 60% of those families experiencing diaper need, they miss on average 4 days of work or school each month because they don't have the diapers required to drop off their children at childcare. We're so fortunate to work with Irving Personal Care, who provides us with their Royale diaper. It's the only branded diaper made here in Canada. It's hypoallergenic.
The diapers are distributed through community organizations that also provide supportive services such as food and housing.
We get our diapers for about 2.5 times less than retail, and that's really meaningful because diaper prices are actually up 20% in the past 2 years alone. So families are really feeling the crunch. The average newborn can go through 13 to 15 diapers in a day.
And studies show diapers are a young family's 4th largest expense after housing, food, and utilities. A $25 donation buys diapers and wipes for a month.
It's super eye-opening.
This woman was one of those who gave today.
I don't think a lot of people realize that having access to diapers is what gets you into daycare. And when you have daycare, you can go to work. You can go to school. You can have all these other connections.
The Baby Love display will be here at the concourse level of Commerce Court, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. through the end of Friday. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest in the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Finally tonight, a Navy veteran who was battling trauma inspired to overcome his adversity by embracing his own creativity. With more on his artistic expression in the face of a personal challenge, here's Adam Sawatsky.
Yvonne LaHoo doesn't need to watch a classic war movie on his phone.
My God, it was so well done.
To remember how the longest day inspired him as a kid to craft discarded cardboard into toy tanks.
And I would put a firecracker and make it realistic. I would blow the tank apart.
Yvonne never outgrew his interest in the military, and at 19, enlisted in the Navy.
So I've never seen the ocean before, and this would be a great thing to see the world.
While he proudly served at sea for the next 30 years, Yvonne started struggling after he retired.
I was suffering from trauma and PTSD. My brain started playing tricks on me.
Until he happened upon this picture of a Second World War ship that he couldn't get out of his head.
Wow. The ship was named after my own town, and I didn't know about this.
But Yvonne did feel, for the first time in a long time, inspired.
I says, I'm going to build it.
Had you ever built anything like this before?
No.
So he thought of how he once was as a kid, before contacting a naval museum, requesting a copy of the ship's blueprints, and started handcrafting countless components from wood and began building a boat from scratch.
The light bulb comes on, and I says, yes, and it works.
And after spending almost 500 hours in his garage, Yvonne felt transformed.
I was pretty amazed with myself how it turned out.
So he made 8 more, supporting his recovery and inspiring a renewed sense of purpose through service.
To build as many lost or forgotten Canadian warships and bring them back to life.
And now Yvonne's donating his first model to his hometown and the others to museums to honor the sailors who worked on them and inspire the civilians served by them.
They all have a story to be told.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Surrey.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.